And look, I must say to my viewers, you'll get this tired argument that the privatised coal power plants are getting old and they're breaking down and they're closing, all of which is true. That is a consequence of coal-fired generation being demonised and governments picking winners, massive subsidies for renewable energy. Daniel, why would you invest in the maintenance of a coal-fired power station or a new coal-fired power station when it's clear that the lefties like Andrews want them out of the energy equation?
Well, you wouldn't invest in it, and they're not, and that's the problem.
It is the problem.
So much red tape, regulation, billions and billions of dollars of red tape being heaped on the resources sector and the coal-fired power sector. You've got policies like net zero, which are explicitly designed to get rid of coal-fired power stations. I mean, we know under the policy of net zero emissions, at least 6 further large coal-fired power stations will close by the end of the decade. So this is the intent of those policies. And of course, if you're an investor, you can read the writing on the wall. And we've got governments at the federal and state level putting up a big sign saying, you're not welcome here. We don't want your investment. We don't want coal-fired power. Take your money somewhere else. And as you say, in addition to all of that, the billions of dollars going into wind and solar energy generation. And they also get preference into the market. So that's pushing out coal, it's pushing out gas. So,
totally distorting the market.
This is all they're doing governments. That you're right, distorting the market completely.
Now, you're a Victorian. I mean, is there anyone who believes Andrews when he has said today, and I quote, only Labor has a plan to keep the lights on, bring bills down and create thousands of jobs in renewable energy? I mean, does this bloke think we're completely stupid? Perhaps we are. Look, I spoke yesterday to Michael Schellenberger, who for 20 years has sprouted this climate change nonsense with ideological zeal like no other. Till at the end, he said, he woke up and he apologised in his book, quote, for the climate scare we've created over the past 30 years. And he said that climate change is, quote, not even our most serious environmental problem. And he said, once you realise how badly misinformed we've been, it's hard not to feel duped. Daniel, do you think the Victorian Premier can read, and how many voters in Victoria are going to be duped?
Well, Michael Schellenberger is one of international leading academics and public intellectuals on this issue. And what he has said is very significant because the misinformation, if I could use that term, around climate change is so prevalent in our schools and in our universities that there are millions of young Australians right now who truly believe the earth is going to end unless we put more money into wind and solar. They truly believe it to the core of their being. And it's an absolute tragedy that they're getting all of this anxiety and depression about the end of the world. So they truly believe it. Yes, unfortunately, there are a lot of people in Victoria and around Australia who do believe this nonsense. Now, I don't think it's a majority, but there is a not insignificant minority who believe this rubbish because they're taught it in schools. The elite media ram it down their throats. You've got woke corporations that use all their communications power to put this information out there. And I said, in addition to that, we've essentially got bipartisan support for these kind of policies. So we're not getting a lot of political
Morrison trotted off to Glasgow to say, me too. He trotted off to Glasgow. Fails to understand that's why he lost the election.